Hi, I'm new here. There are so many things that I feel like I should be saying or explaining, but that would take forever. So I figure if anyone's curious about anything like why my English is so bad, or why my hands are permanently dirty, or why I chose this name for my channel, or anything like that, just ask and I'll answer. That's gonna be way faster than me going all out the first thing I do with introductions. So what I figured, this is my first video. I don't know if it's gonna be any good. I've never done this before, so you know, you're gonna have to be a bit patient with me. In any case, what I figure is let's do a reading for the upcoming month, which is a good one because that means it's also timeless. So a reading for the upcoming month. There are going to be like 5 subjects that we'll look at, which will be health, finances, free time, work, and relationships. Not necessarily romantic, could be family, could be friends, and health could be physical as well as psychological, so you know, it's a bit like that. But those are going to be the 5 areas that we'll look at. I have 4 piles that you can choose from. It's because I don't actually like 3-pile layouts, because it's, I don't know, well, never mind, I prefer 4. And I'm not doing the whole using different cards to differentiate the piles or putting crystals on them or something, because I don't really like the idea of choosing the one that you feel is the most pretty. If you're choosing based on looks, then there's a certain chance that it's not actually going to be what is for you. So with these all being identical, you choose the pile that you actually feel most drawn to, not because it's pretty, but because it calls to you. So we have pile 1, pile 2, pile 3, and pile 4. You choose one, click your timestamp, and then I'll see you in your reading. There we go. Welcome back, everyone who chose pile 1. So, as I said, what we're going to do is put out 5 piles, and it will be, I'm thinking 4 cards per pile. Haven't actually really thought this through. We're just going with it to see how this is going to work. And this is, by the way, my unicorn deck that my mother gave me. I absolutely love it. It's a Swedish deck. So that's the health. Then we're going with economy or finances. I have 4 cards. So this is health and finances for the upcoming month. Next, we're going to be looking at your free time or spare time or hobbies and stuff. And we'll use this guy for that, I think. One. So spare time, hobbies, free time for the upcoming month. Next, we're looking at work. It's going to be you. So, work. There we go. And finally, we're going with relationships, which my baby Heindl will be answering for you. This deck is my first one, actually. It's the first one I bought when I was 17, which is 23 years ago. We've been through a lot together. On top of this, we're also going to give you an advice card for each area. I'm going to love this deck. So, an advice for your health, advice for your finances, advice for your spare time, free time, hobbies, advice for your work situation, and finally advice for your relationships. All this for the upcoming month. Sorry, my camera wobbled a bit. I don't really have the best camera, but this is what I have to work with, so this is what we're going with. So, let's first take a look at your advice. Your advice is Cherry Dragon Grace. Do you not just love this little thing? It's so beautiful. That's for health advice. And then we have strength. We have the Tower. We have 8 of Cups. And we have the Knight of Swords. So I would say with Grace then. Grace, well, you know, be graceful. That might be a bit vague. I would say find an inner center and calm, peaceful place to work from with your health during this month. So you have a few things here. Strength, which, well, aside from just strength, we could interpret it literally and say you're going to be very strong. But I think that you might want to be strong because you do have the Tower. And as we all know, the Tower is, it's not necessarily even bad things, but it is big changes. It is something ripping the carpet from under your feet. I don't think that's the correct English translation, but yeah. Upheaval, everything changes. The Tower comes crashing down. There's probably something you're unprepared for, and it might be something you won't be very happy about. Then you have 8 of Cups, which tends to be leaving something behind that isn't working. So I'm really curious to see how this is going to connect to the other piles. But you also have the Knight of Swords, which in this case, just looking at these, I'm going to say, I may be wrong about this, we'll see how it connects. I would take this to mean that you will notice something changing for the negative in your health. Like, okay, let's use myself as an example because that's always easier. I've been a smoker for almost 30 years and then I quit. I keep telling people I quit because I couldn't afford it anymore. It's almost true. I quit because I also work as a welder and a mechanic in lots of dirty air situations, and I just started feeling like my lungs were not coping with both the smoke at work and me smoking. So I had to make the choice there to quit because I was really noticing how I was getting worse, like my stamina was getting worse, and you know, so I quit smoking. So in my case, if we use me as an example, the Tower would be when I noticed that my body is actually not feeling well. I'm getting worse. I can't breathe the way I used to be able to. That'd be the Tower. The 8 of Cups would be leaving the bad habit that is causing, well, bad habit. It could be anything. Bad living situation, bad habit, bad job, whatever it is that is causing the problematic health situation. The strength is where you're actually strong enough for it, you know, especially with Grace. And the Knight of Swords, I'd say that's an intellectual knight. You know, they're pretty fast moving. They tend to be intellectually educated. They educate themselves before they take action. They don't, like the Knight of Wands, just rush off and do things. So whether this is, you know, eating habits, work situation, something that's affecting your health, you need to look at that from a logical and educated stance and figure out what you need to change to get past this Tower moment, is what I would actually say. Yeah, that's my interpretation. And moving on to finances, we have health, which I think that's kind of what I suspect. We'll see what it says. Health is pretty much, since this is an advice card, it's going to be take care of your health, make healthy choices. And you have the 8 of Pentacles, the High Priestess, 5 of Pentacles, and 4 of Cups, along with those. And so with those, I would say that, well, finances perhaps right now are maybe not the best. So we have, well, in the order I picked them up, we have 4 of Cups, which is very much about displeasure or even boredom or depression with what you have or what you could get. So motivating yourself to going for that. We also have 5 of Pentacles, which is the whole lack mentality. The I don't have enough and I'm afraid of losing what I have. Which, you know, maybe you're getting by. We have the High Priestess, which is very much about intuition and you really knowing what you need to do to change your situation. This person is, no, that's, yeah. And we have 8 of Pentacles, which is dedication, hard work, perfection, skill. And so if we put them together, I suck at this because I keep wanting to use myself as an example. I've had jobs where I didn't feel I was paid well enough and I wasn't happy. I was, in fact, well, I had a job where I was very sad and depressed, actually. Everything felt terrible. But I stayed there because I needed the money. I was terrified what was going to happen if I didn't have the job, that I'd be homeless or a burden to my family or stuff. Still, I knew that if I stayed, I wouldn't, you know, mentally I could not do it. Because clinical depression, the whole thing, like, I really don't want to live like this. And so I did what I knew that I had to do. I quit my job and I went and did something else that I had actually already dedicated a lot of time, effort into learning, into becoming very good at, and I was very good at it. But that was one of those lifetime adventures. I'll probably be mentioning that again later, but I don't want to get too specific because that might influence how you see your situation. In your situation, something about your finances, and it will be fun to see how this will connect with jobs afterwards, because this is finances, not job. But that you're perhaps not feeling very good about your financial situation right now, and that really you know what you need to do to fix it. And, well, that it is probably something that you want to do or are already good at, but you know what you need to do to fix your economy. Health, I'd say it either ties in with this, that there is a bad habit that is affecting your health negatively that you need to shake, and then it's also affecting your economy. So maybe this is a reading for me. I don't know. Look, quit smoking, save money, and get healthier. That's, you know, just an example. Now let's look at free time, spare time, hobbies. Where we have Wheel of Fortune, 3 of Pentacles, 4 of Swords, 3 of Cups, and Dragon Advice, Union. And here, I have to say, the Wheel of Fortune, well, I think this one's actually very interesting. The Wheel of Fortune, it is a destiny card, but it's not always a good thing. Sometimes it's a bad thing, sometimes it's a meh thing, sometimes it's a good thing. It means if you are on top now, if you are on top now, the wheel will spin and you'll end up there, and then it will spin again and you'll end up on top again, and so on. That, you know, it goes around and around. Sometimes you're the winner, sometimes you're not, but your luck will change at any time. So depending on what it looks like right now, but I'm going to say, with the 4 of Swords, this is another Swedish print deck, by the way. It's not a Swedish deck, but it's printed in Swedish. So, but that's 4 of Swords. It might mean that it's actually been a bit tough for you recently, and that you need to do something just for the fun or for relaxation. Don't put any performance into what you do in your spare time. I know a lot of people do that because they want, like, gigs on the side to bring in money or further their career or put them in touch with the right people, that sort of thing. For now, just do things that relax you, that replenishes you, that you feel good about. because you also have Three of Cups, which I feel in that case is Three of Cups is very much celebrations with friends, ideally with friends. It can mean that you overindulge in stuff. Don't do that. Try to be a bit careful about how you go about it. But then, as I was saying, you also have Three of Pentacles or Three of Stones, which is about teamwork, collaborations, doing things together with others. I don't know if you've felt a bit isolated lately, perhaps, because your advice card from the dragon also says union. So join forces with others, do something together with others. Maybe my first thought here is that you have been feeling lonely. You have been feeling a bit burnt out. Perhaps you haven't been doing enough fun things recently. And this, I would say, seek out friends or people with the same interests and hobbies as you. Do things with them, and you will feel better. That's, that's how I would read this. So that much for free time and hobbies. Join others that you get along with and feel happy with. Do things that are fun. Don't go overboard. And yeah, enjoy. It's turning in your favor, I would say, based on these cards. So, moving on to jobs. I'm so curious about this pile now after what we got in both health and economy, but that was also my own associations. That's the word. And here we have Queen of Swords, Ace of Pentacles, Page of Cups, and Three of Cups. And the dragon advice, childlike, with the grape jelly dragon. I love these cards so much. I'm going to link to them in case anyone else wants them, because they're so amazing. Now, as for reading these, I'm actually a bit unsure, I have to admit, because the dragon advises that it's childlike. Children are, I would say, quite imaginative. They're trusting. They're innocent. And they're pretty open. And that's the advice. Be childlike. Which is interesting, because then, as I said, you had Queen of Swords, which is an intellectual, very strong, good at setting boundaries, very good at, well, she's cold, logical, very firm, not necessarily cold, but I mean in the negative aspect, but since this is work, I can imagine that she's quite detached, that she goes in and does the job, and perhaps doesn't put that much of her person into it, or, that much of her child into it. Because then you have Ace of Pentacles, which, I mean, these are new physical projects, so it could mean changing. I mean, it's an ace. It's a big thing, sort of. It's not a major arcana thing, but it's a big thing. So new projects, new workplaces, could even be a new colleague, actually. I hate being one of those romanticizing, oh, everyone's going to meet their soulmate in the next week. I don't necessarily think so. I think there would have been bigger, more loving cards then. But what you do have is Page of Cups, which pages tend to be messengers. Cups are the emotions. So it could be a new coworker or a new project that you're working on that really connects with you, where you can or should release a bit of the Queen of Swords things. Keep your boundaries, keep everything like that, but be more willing to be open and connecting with people, I think, is what this would say. Because then you also have Three of Cups, which again is the whole, you had it here as well in the free time thing. Well, celebrations, partying, doing fun things with your friends or people you like. So at work, unless I'm absolutely backwards here and it actually means do not be a child, be the Queen of Swords, don't talk to anyone, I don't think it does. I think it means find someone that you connect with and be open and dare to connect with them, and it's going to lead to good things, is what I think. I may very well be wrong, but it's what I think. And then we'll take a look at relationships and see what's in there. And then, then you have Ace of Wands, you have the Hanged Man, you have Five of Cups, and you have Two of Wands. And the advice from the dragons is multitask. I love this. This actually looks fun. Hang on. this is interesting. This is relationships, and we have the Ace of Wands, which is, I mean, they're about passionate beginnings. No way around that. And I wonder if you're going to be meeting someone new. And there's a bit of a warning here, actually. This new person is, well, it might be someone you connect really much with. You really hit it off. Or it might be someone who is really hot and you want to start something with them. I don't know, but something along those lines. But then you, as said, have the Two of Wands right after, which is, it's a bit of a non-starter. It's, you know, it's not right now. This is where you need to make a plan, figure out what you want, how to get there in an engaged way, because this is something you care about. And then you have the Hanged Man, which is very much, you can feel stuck and you can feel like you're not progressing, and that would indicate that you need to change how you view this situation. I'm gonna come with an example again soon, and I'm not sure that's gonna help, but because you have the Five of Cups as well, which is my crying over spilt milk card. Something hasn't turned out the way you hoped, and because of that you focus on the loss or perceived loss and don't see what you still have. So as an example, this one might mean that you meet someone new, they're amazing, you want them. They're not as into that idea. Perhaps they're a new coworker, or perhaps they're in another relationship, perhaps they're whatever. Maybe it's two people, maybe whatever, really, because it still means you have to change how you look at things from, oh, everything is lost because this didn't turn out the way I want it to be right away, and you turn that into another way of looking at it. Like, for example, this is an amazing person, I really like them, maybe things will change, or maybe they have a friend that shares, you know, the same traits or stuff, and I'll really like them. And I think the advice here with the multitask is, do not go all in on this one thing that feels exciting and fascinating right now, because it might not turn out as you want it. And if you ditch everything else in favor of that one thing and it doesn't turn out the way you want it, then we are at the Five of Cups, and you feel like you've lost everything, even though you haven't. So be sure to give your relationships as much attention as you can, all of them, and treat everyone, yeah, with attention. Give everyone time. Well, that you want to, of course, because it's still, you know, maybe you don't like someone, you don't want to hang out with them, then don't give them as much time. You know what I'm saying here. Don't put all eggs in one person basket. So that's pretty much your reading. So to recap, health, look for something that is a tower thing. I don't think it's a perfect disaster, because the cherry dragon says grace, be graceful. And if it was a complete disaster, no card would advise you to take it easy and be graceful. They, you know. So try to find out instead what it is that is causing this. If it's eating too much sugar, or smoking, or drinking too much, or whatever it is. Not doing enough exercise and then you damage your knee. Could be a tower thing, because then you can't walk. It doesn't have to be your entire life falls apart. It could just be, and this is what I like about negative cards, is that they can be seen as a warning. The future is very rarely set in absolute stone. You can, for the most part, change it. So let's say that this is a broken leg because you fall over when lifting weights at the gym because you didn't go for 2 years and now you decided to, and it was too heavy and you broke your leg. Maybe, you know, use smaller weights, be more careful on your first session. That sort of thing. It doesn't, I mean, a broken leg is a disaster, but it's not that kind of disaster. So anyways, that's health. Watch out for that thing that could be bad and change it before it happens. And if you can't, at least make sure to change it along the way so that it improves. And then you have your finances here, where again I feel like you are not happy and you feel that you aren't getting enough money, you don't have as much as of what you want, or perhaps you're not doing what you actually love, because this is just skill based. And the apple dragon says health. which makes me think that it might actually have something to do with the health. Your job might have something to do with the health pile. You'll know how this interconnect if it does. Tell me in the comments in that case, because I always love to find these things out, since it's, first of all, general reading, and I don't know anyone's situation. It would be cool to hear how that actually fits for you, to see if I'm right, if I'm wrong, if I could have interpreted it in a different way that would have made more sense, so that I can learn and improve too. Because as I said, this is my first video. I haven't done this before. I haven't actually done general readings before, not like that. Anyways, enough about me. Spare time, free time. Find friends to do something fun with so that you don't burn out and become unhappy. But don't go overboard to the point of, you know, I don't know. I don't know. Whatever that is for you is what I'm trying to say. So don't go too far with whatever it is that is for you. Just have fun, relax, connect with people. And then we have job, in which I still think this is relax a bit on the Ice Queen or Ice King, whatever you are, and try to connect with the people you work with, or this new project, or the new co-worker, and be more open and not naive, but innocent. Don't expect the worst. Be more welcoming for a while and see what happens. Yeah. And then we have the relationships, where I feel like this, as I said, it could be someone you're deeply attracted to, but it's a bit of a no-starter. Do not let yourself be distracted and distraught and saddened by that. Focus on other relationships as well. Still focus on feeling good, and everything should turn out okay. Now, all that's left for you is your meditation card for the month and your rune. Okay. Your meditation card is the Mandragora Mother. I don't know if you can read that because my camera sucks, but find the secrets hidden in the brambles. Now this is not a card I can interpret for you. This is what you have to meditate on and see, what does it mean for you? Find the secrets hidden in the brambles. So that's for you. And I'm pretty happy to see this, because you get Kenas. Now I'm Scandinavian. I have no idea how this is pronounced in English. But it's a rune of, it's the fire rune. So it's a rune of passion, of your calling, of new ideas and new projects, which means that this relationship thing, or this work thing, or this whatever it is, your month is still going to feel pretty fiery, like you're actually caring about what happens. You'll go into it with full focus on what's important to you. And I like that. I think this actually, I mean, not everything sounds good, but the things that sound less good still have a very hopeful air about them. So I'd say you're going to have a pretty good month if you let yourself. If you do find out what the health issue is, if you do go for the thing that will make you happier with your finances, if you do seek out the people to have fun with, if you do welcome people into the job or the new project, and if you do learn to focus on what you have rather than what you don't have, then I think this is going to be an amazing month for you. So thank you very much for watching that. And I don't know if I'll see you again, you decide that. But if I will, then I'll be happy to see you there. Bye! And hello everyone that chose pile 2. We are, I don't even remember how I opened this for pile 1. I have very bad memory. Anyways, we're going to be looking at the upcoming month. I think I said that, maybe I didn't. If I didn't, now I've said it. So that makes this a timeless reading, and you chose pile number 2. And we're going to be looking at 5 different areas of your life, so to speak. So we're going to be looking at health, which can be both physical and mental. And then we're going to be looking at finances and economy. We're going to be looking at hobbies and free time, like spare time. I can't figure out a good word for that, so yeah. Then we're going to be looking at work, a work situation, whether you have a job or not. It's, you know, your work situation. And finally, we're going to be looking at relationships. So that could be friendships, family, love, whatever really. Relationships with other people. So we'll start out with health. using my very, very pretty unicorn deck that my mom gave me. It's a Swedish deck. I'll be putting a link to it so that you can look at it if you want to. So this is for health for the upcoming month, whenever that might be for you. Let's see. This one is for economy. Whoops. Oh dear. Cards flying everywhere. And those two. And economy, upcoming month, 4 cards. There we go. After that, we'll be looking at, as I said, hobbies, spare time and free time sort of thing. One, 2, and 3, and 4. And then we're going to be looking at job, work situation. Should also be 4 cards, because for some reason I like 4 cards. And I also don't really have that many decks. I have a few more than this, but these are my favorites, sort of. This one is printed in Swedish, but it won't matter. You'll be able to see what it is anyways, and I'll introduce the cards. And then now, finally, relationships. We're using my favorite deck for this. This is my Untitled deck that I got when I was 17. So that's 23 years ago, almost 24. I am not as young as I used to be. This is relationships for the upcoming month for you, pile 2. Also, for each pile, we are going to get a dragon advice card. I love these little guys. I think I said so on pile 1 as well, but these are so adorable. They're so beautiful. I'm so happy that I managed to buy them, because I mean, they just make me happy. You'll see when we look at them, they make me happy. They're beautiful. And they are, you know, commonly sold. In case you want to get one, I'll link it. Aside from all these, we will also get a rune for the upcoming month. These, I don't think I mentioned these when I did the last one. I made these myself. These are made from moose horn that I have sliced into little, well, yeah, and then carved and painted with blood, snow, and ashes. So they are blood bound to me as well. I love them. I'm very proud of them. Now, let's see what we have here. We'll start with health. Okay. So, I hate when people do that, when they do the whole and then don't say anything else. I don't know what to say here, because you have the Empress, which is female principle. Can be motherhood, can be new projects, can be just taking care of the family, and that's in health. So I don't know. And then we have the Tower. I wonder. We have the Queen of Cups, and we have the Nine of Swords. This, oh, I don't know. I don't want to jump to any worst case scenario conclusions, and now I'm wondering if I should put a trigger warning on this, because depending on how you interpret this, obviously, but the Queen of Cups, the Nine of Swords is, we're gonna go straight there. The Nine of Swords basically says you might need help figuring this out, professional help. So whether this is body or mind, something is changing. I don't know. Okay, again, let's use me as an example. I am quite old. No one. I'll be 41 this year, but sooner or later, I'm gonna hit menopause. So we can look at that. Menopause is really going to be a tower thing for me. I've never wanted kids. It's a choice I made, which I feel very lucky about. I was always sure. I was sure since before I was 10 that I wasn't gonna have any kids. And then I didn't get any kids, and I'm fine with that. But menopause, that will mean there are no options anymore. The choice isn't mine. I will not be able to have any kids. I might actually need help handling that. The fact that I'm not a fertile woman anymore. I'll be a crone. That's a bit of an exaggeration, but you get the idea. Now, with the Empress and the Queen of Cups, this feels like it has with feminine hygiene. Oh, hygiene? That's not an English translation. Feminine health issues. Could be pregnancies, could be period problems, could be that sort of thing. So, and as I was saying, the Tower showed up in pile 1 as well, but I don't think that was as heavy as this one. And I'm basing that on the 9 of Swords, to be honest. And this one feels a bit heavier. And you also have the dragon advice. Sorry, this is so inappropriate now, but look at that. Isn't it beautiful? Anyways, the onion dragon has the advice of release for you. So this could be some kind of female-related trauma that you really should get a professional to help you release. That's... yeah, as I was saying, the Tower showed up in pile 1 as well. And I mentioned then that I, in a way, like getting negative cards, because it means I can prepare. It means, in many cases, it means I can change what's about to happen. Like, in other cases, it doesn't. In some cases, I can't. But then I can prepare mentally and not, and this is very important. I don't know. Let's say you're... Oh, this happened to me a few years ago, actually. I had one of those lumps in my breast. And I was terrified. I was so scared. I went for, I think it was a month before I could get a doctor's appointment. And I was just, every single day was pure terror because I was so scared. I ruined that month for myself because the moment I went in the door at the hospital and she looked at me, she didn't even poke it. And she went, yeah, that's fat. It's like fat nodules you can get sometime. And I was like, I thought I was going to die or have to have surgery and stuff. And she said that, no, that's just a fat lump. You don't have to be scared of that. But for a month, I went around feeling like the world was ending. Not worth it. But I don't know what this is going to be for you. So be prepared that you might need help dealing with whatever it is. I mean, a lot of truly terrible things happen to people sometimes. Like, you know, they go through divorces, or they're assaulted, or they lose their children, or a family member passes away. They're terrible, terrible things. I'm not saying that has to be what it is here, because then I think, I don't know. I mean, technically it could, but that's a worst case scenario. I don't think that's going to be for most of you. But if any of it is, the advice there still goes on. I mean, the Queen of Cups, that's someone who is loving, who is in touch with their emotions. Try to be that and get help. But don't be too scared. Release. So don't get stuck in whatever it was that happened. Don't let it control you. Don't let it ruin your life. That's whatever it is. If it's stress-related hair loss, or gravity takes its toll on your ass. I don't know. I don't want to joke about it, because whatever it is, it might actually be a pretty tough time you're going to go through here. But we'll see. We'll see what the other piles say, because usually there's some kind of correlation. Anyways. So we're moving on to finances now, where we have the 5 of Swords, we have the Hierophant, we have 8 of Pentacles again, and 9 of Pentacles. And the advice card is Grace. Oh. You know, you have a lot. I really shuffled the decks. And you still have some of the same cards coming out, actually. And some of them are nothing alike. So I don't think it's due to poor shuffling. I actually think this is what it's intended to be. So we'll see. What did I say? 5 of Swords, the Hierophant. 8 of Pentacles, 9 of Pentacles, and Grace. Okay. So, okay. This also isn't really looking happy, to be honest. This is finances, 5 of Swords. It tends to be one of those wanting to win at all costs and playing dirty and not winning anyways. Or if you win, it is with bad methods. You might lose people's respect or your reputation. So I'd say if there are any conflicts about money here, play fair. Don't cheat, don't manipulate like that. Play fair, because you can't win all the time, and if you win playing unfairly, I'm having an idea what's going on here, but we'll see what the other piles say as well, because this... Yeah, anyways, the Hierophant speaks of tradition, like marriage, or school, or, well, divorce. It's traditions and being pretty tradition bound. This is how it's done. It's the legal aspects of things, or this is how you're supposed to do things. It can also mean that you're being a bit too rigid in your approach to things. 8 of Pentacles, work, dedication, perfection, becoming really good at something. So finances, whatever is happening, because right after that you have 9 of Pentacles, and as said, I shuffled these really well. 9 of Pentacles, that's abundance and money, not on a several generations changing stage, but life changing, actually, for real, with the 9 of Pentacles. So, and the advice card here is also Grace, which is interesting in this situation, just to play with the idea. Let's say you moved in with your partner 2 years ago and you bought a house together, and now you're breaking up and moving away from each other, and someone has to either buy the other part out or you have to sell the house. And that's where you don't play dirty, actually, because graceful, be graceful, and it will turn out fine because you're good at something. You don't have to play dirty. You've still got the skills, and you will reap the rewards, and they will be big rewards, is what I'd say. So money is not actually looking bad. It's looking like there will be conflict about money, but you will get money. And as long as you don't do anything illegal or immoral to get there, I'd say it's fine, because the end result is you'll be fine. Yeah. We're gonna move on to free time, spare time, hobbies. Okay. Where you have the Ace of Coins, the King of Coins, the Queen of Wands, also the 8 of Swords. The advice from the dragons is celebration. So there's going to be something that you should celebrate and be happy about here. Now with these, I mean, this being free time, it's not work, it's hobbies. Ace of Coins suggests there is a new venture started there. New project, new purchase, new property, new something that is spare time and hobbies related. So it could be a new tennis rack, I don't know. But it feels bigger than that since it's an ace. And you have the King of Coins. And that tends to be a very male, pretty slow, but male principle. So I don't know how that's to you. To me, it feels very solid, steady, dependable. It's a bit, I'd say, like the Emperor, but less magnificent, less primal in it. And then you have the Queen of Wands, which is passion, power, personal power, really being authentically yourself. I can't speak English, sorry. Really being fired up about something. Well, there is also the 8 of Swords, which is where very, very much, to me at least, when you put yourself in a negative situation, I want to say, but that's incorrect. Negative mindset. When you feel trapped, you feel depressed, and you start looking at everything as just horrible and terrible, while it's not necessarily true. It's like when you put someone in a cage and they're like, oh no, I'm gonna be stuck here forever, my life is over, and they don't even notice that the cage has no ceiling or roof. They do this with cats sometimes, and it's actually funny when it's a cat because you can lift them out and save them. When it's happening in your life that you feel that kind of trapped, that's, you know, not a good thing, because no one's going to come and lift you out. You have to do that yourself. But with all these, you know, the Ace of Coins and the King of Coins and the Queen of Wands, something good is coming on your free spare time hobby side of life. Something very good. And you should celebrate it so that you don't get stuck in this, after all intents and purposes, invented cage. It's not real. You're not trapped. Your life it will go on. It will be what you make of it. So celebrate the good things. Really celebrate the good things. Moving on to work, where you have 6 of Wands, 10 of Pentacles, 2 of Wands, Knight of Pentacles, and Dragon Advice Growth. This work sounds awesome. First of all, 6 of Wands, that's the victory. You won the Robin Hood archery contest. You're the best. This is public triumph. Whatever it is you're doing at work, you're going to get so much, you know, recognition, and you're going to be the best. You might be, let's say it's a small job. Sorry, no jobs are really small, but, well, say it's, you get Employee of the Month, and it's not a big deal really to anyone else, but Employee of the Month is a big deal. It's not as big a deal as, you know, you sign a new contract with big $1 million thingy, whoever, but it's still a big deal. This is public recognition and victory. So you're doing something right here. And then the 10 of Pentacles. This is life-changing. This is generational wealth. So I don't know what it is you're actually doing, but it is. And again, that's always going to be down to personal references. I mean, you might not, again, make that billion dollar contract, but maybe that's not what's necessary. Maybe it's that you make 1 million, or you're able to buy a home with the money you make, and that home becomes the new ancestral base. I can't really know that, but you're doing very well, and there is money coming. 2 of Wands is, I would have to say that even with that success and progress, you might be feeling a bit, not necessarily stuck, but you're at a planning stage. There's no current action being taken. These are all things that have happened, sort of thing. So you're making a plan for the next thing, I'd say. And then you have the Knight of Pentacles, which in this case I'd say whatever plan you come up with will be for the long term. And perhaps slow. Knight of Pentagrams, or Knights of Pentacles, or of Coins, or Stones, or they have so many names, tend to be pretty slow, or slow moving. So even though with this victory or success, you're still not really doing much. You need to make a plan, and it will come to slow fruition. And Radish Dragon says growth, so I'd say aim for growth. Perhaps this is you making a good deal, investing, and waiting for the money to grow, to have an investment plan. I don't know, that's just, well, one theory. But it's looking good on the money front. Let's look at your relationships. That's kind of what I expected, actually. First off, we have the Devil. And we have 10 of Swords. We have 6 of Cups. And we have 2 of Stones. And the Blackberry Dragon I'm starting to feel that whatever is going on with your health might, and your money, might be related to something bad going on in a close relationship. The devil, and we probably know this, I mean, this is abuse. This is addiction. This is the bad things. The bad parts of human nature. The only times the devil really is a good thing is when it's about a mother and her child. And even then it can be incredibly toxic if the devil is the signifier of that relationship. The devil, there's a problem. There's a deep problem in a relationship here. And Ten of Swords, that talks about endings. Something needs to go. Something needs to be chopped off and ended for anything new to be able to come. So let's just, to bring it down to a like simpler level, let's say you're in a relationship with someone and he isn't treating you nice. It makes you feel bad. It makes you feel emotionally or physically really bad. So you release that. You dump his or her ass and move on with your life. And that's where we go here, to the Six of Cups, which is reconnecting with your inner child sort of thing, remembering yourself, returning a bit to childhood, not being whatever bitter, sad, scared, whatever this relationship turned you into. And this could be a parent, it could be a partner, it could be anything. But they haven't been making you feel good. From, if I am to like draw connections here, this relationship hasn't been making you feel good and you should end it, or it's ending against your will. But you then have to reconnect to what it feels like to be happy again, to be you again, to be without this person or relationship again, and still be happy. And then you rest. It's not rest as such, it's more juggling, prioritizing, taking it easy, not overworking, not starting anything huge. Let yourself heal is what I'd say. But there is timing here, and that's what makes me think that this is an abusive partner. Timing could then be like, leave when they're at work so that they can't try to stop you, that sort of thing. The worst part is, this isn't a happy reading. I feel terrible about giving not happy readings. Well, see, this is supposed to be your monthly meditation card. And, okay, Fringe Dweller. See with your eyes and heart wide open. So, whatever it is, try not to invent motivations, feelings, excuses, anything for people. Have your eyes and your heart open. See things as they truly are, is what I'd say. Because I also pulled a rune for you here, and you have, oh yeah, this pronunciation in English, Hagalas. It's the hail rune. Hail is change, destruction. I mean, hail, you know what hail does. This is hail coming into your life for the upcoming month. And closely, if you would say that it relates to any tarot card, it would be the Tower that you have here. You still, I mean, if whatever, money's looking absolutely splendid, and, well, no, sorry, job is looking really good. Finances was looking good as long as you don't play dirty or unfair. And spare time, as long as you don't let yourself feel trapped and depressed. If you go in and do things you actually want to, that fire you up and make you feel good, then all these are going to be great. It's the relationships and the health, which I think I'm going to interpret as mental, but I'm not sure. That's, up to you. Those are the areas that are going to need a radical action, probably. Actually, let's see. We're going to do one card just because I'm really curious here. So, and that is the Four of Wands in this deck. this is also interesting. It's called fullbordan, which is Swedish for completion. And this is normally a celebratory card, and I think it is too, but completion here, I would say, I'm not gonna decide for you how to live your life, but if you recognize anything from this pile, then I really think take the timing into consideration and then just end the relationship. Leave it, build yourself up again, get that professional help, and be happy again. I think whatever this is, it's probably something that's been weighing on you for a while, and it's time. It's come to completion. It's time to let it go. You've learned whatever you needed to learn from it. It's just time to sever it. That's how I interpret this. I would love to hear your interpretation, see if there's anything that resonates here, because it's a very heavy reading. I would love to be wrong about a lot of things that I could see here, and that it's really just a case of I've been considering removing my eyebrow piercing because it got infected and that was a bad relationship, and no. I would hope that it's something like that, but let me know. And I wish you, even with this, a good month and a really, really strong stomp off from this into the next part. Thank you. Okay, and then we're back for everyone who chose pile 3. Sorry about my camera's light adjustment. I can't make it just stick to one light setting. But anyways, this is for the upcoming month. So whenever you're watching this, it is timeless. And we'll be looking at 5 areas of life. We'll start out with health, which could be physical or mental. And we'll be looking at finances and economy. And then we're looking at hobbies and free time, and work. And we'll also be looking at relationships. So I hope you're feeling ready for that, because here we go. So first of all, we're starting with health. There. And after that, we're moving to economy and finances. 1, 2, 3, and 4. After that, this is hobbies and spare time. 1, 2, 3, 4. And after that, we shall be looking at work. That 1, 2, 3, and 4. And now, after that, we shall be looking at relationships for the upcoming month for pile 3. So 4 cards for that. We have 1. And we have 2. And 3. And 4. There we go. For each of these, we will also be getting an advice card from the dragons. This isn't a very big deck. I've noticed that it keeps getting the same cards out no matter how well I shuffle, because there's not a lot of them, but they're generally good advice, so we're still going to be using them because I love them. And because they're good advice for the most part. For the most part, they're good advice. Oh, you really want to... There? Okay. And we're also pulling a rune from my very homemade rune collection. There we go. Okay, so, well, I guess we'll just start. This is a beautiful Swedish unicorn deck that my mom got me. I absolutely love it. And this is for health, which again could be mental or physical. And you have 6 of cups, you have King of coins or pentacles, or you have the star, and you have 10 of swords, and you have the advice union, so join others or work together with others. This, I mean, the star is hope. It's really feeling hopeful, and the universe, or whatever you believe in or call it, tends to conspire to help you when you get the star, because it is your happiest vision and a way to actually achieve it. With the King of Pentacles or coins, I'd say there's a very tangible way forward, a very dependable, tested and true, not necessarily traditional, but a steady, dependable, yeah, I already said that, steady and dependable way forward in this health situation. 6 of Cups, the whole childlike happiness, or connecting with who you are, what you wanted. Like, if this had been a job pile, it would have been, what did you want to be when you grew up? That sort of thing. Which really is to connect with your inner child, or going back to who you were before something changed you, what your dreams were, what you wanted, that sort of thing. We do have 10 of Swords, which means it is time to end something, or something is ending. It's not a major arcana. The only major here was the star, so this isn't, I would say this isn't incredibly bad. This is just you perhaps needing to make a decision. This is what I want. This has been my, this is what I want. And I can see a way to get it. So I'm ending this thing that is bad. And I'm seeking support from people in similar situations, or who have experienced the same thing, or that can support me. You have to keep in mind that I don't know what this is for you. It's a general reading. I mean, this could be serious. And in that case, maybe your friends and family won't have enough experience to be able to support you in the way that you need. So that's what I mean. Look at if you perhaps need to talk to someone in the same situation, or someone who has been in the same situation, so that you don't overwhelm someone who sadly can't help, no matter how much they want to. But health is actually looking good. You're seeing a way to great improvement here by just quitting something that isn't good for you, whatever that may be. But you want to make this change now, and you can see a way to do it. So I'd say this is good. Your health is changing for the better, is what I'd say. Now, economy, where we have 8 of Swords, the Fool, 2 of Cups, 10 of Pentacles. Wow. Oh, wow. Watermelon Dragon says success. That's your advice here. This pile is amazing. This is for your finances. So first you have 8 of Swords, and that's a bit where we put ourselves in a cage. You've seen this card actually not in the same deck, not in the same pile, but 8 of Swords showed up in the previous pile, in pile 2 as well. And I used the example there, and I will here too, because I'm predictable and boring, that you've seen the cat videos where they put a cat in a box, or like a little cage, and the cat can't find its way out of the cage, but the cage has no roof. The cat just thinks it's stuck, but really it's not. It could just climb over the wall, but it doesn't, because it thinks it's in a cage. That's you. You feel stuck. You feel trapped financially, but in reality that might be something you've told yourself. I don't think it's true, because then we have the Fool, which is new projects, new ventures, new adventures, new starts. You're gonna step out of this cage and into something new, and it just gets better from there, because you have the 2 of Cups, which in a financial situation I would still say this is, you're bringing in money doing something you love. It might not even be a job, it's just something you really connect with and feel love for. And then on top of that we have the Ten of Pentacles, so it's going to be a success. You're going to be rich, and you'll have great reason to like celebrate that success. See, this is cool. I really like this. This financially sounds amazing. Moving on swiftly to spare time and hobbies. See what we have here. Oh, okay. Okay. Oh. Is it... I wonder... Because, you know, the Three of Swords, that is a bit of a heartbreak. You know, you're sad. You're a bit heartbroken. And this is in hobbies and spare time. I wonder if you felt defeated or excluded or not good enough or something in something you wanted to do or are doing. There's also the Queen of Swords, which with this month, this being the upcoming month, and I don't know, I have a feeling this could be either you not letting others in to connect to you in the hobbies, or excluding yourself from social interaction in your hobbies. But there's also going to be a moment of, well, the Six of Wands, a victory, public recognition. And then you have Nine of Pentacles, and this is what makes me so curious, if it's something that matches with your economy. If you're going to be doing a competition or something, and that's why you're not letting people in, or maybe you lost the last or previous competition. Because Blueberry Dragon has the advice goals. So set goals. And I mean, this doesn't have to mean money. It could mean you make lots of new friends or something. It's tangible things. So, I don't know. Set goals. Whatever it is you want. If it is you want to win, or you want new friends, or you want to be less alone, then you set goals. You want to be less alone, find a social hobby, and try to get welcomed there. Then you're going to have to drop the Queen of Swords thing, though, because she isn't very warm and cuddly. She can be very cold and standoffish. And that generally doesn't inspire people to invite or include you. So that's just... But goals will lead to victory and increase, abundance. You getting a better situation in a tangible way. So that sounds good too. But set goals. And don't get stuck in this grief over whatever it might be. So we're going to look at work. And we have the King of Pentacles. We have the Page of Pentacles. The Page of Wands. And the Ace of Swords. I'm feeling like this is a new opportunity, I think, to make more money or have a better job. It is something stable and steady, but with the Ace of Swords and the Page of Wands, you might have to actually, you know how you had the Fool in finances? I think finances and work actually connect here. I think you might have to start something, a new project or a new project, new workplace, maybe you'll start your own business. Maybe it'll be on the side of your actual employment. Because it is, you know, this looks so solid and steady, and then all of a sudden you have these messages about new chances for money and new passion projects and this new intellectual, new idea, new spark for, we should do this. And Peach Dragon says, be vulnerable. Or let yourself be vulnerable. I'm wondering now if you are aiming to turn a hobby into a lucrative job. I don't know. But it could very well be that way. Please let me know if that's the case. I'm so curious to see if I actually get anything right here. We're moving on to relationships. Oh, where we have the Ten of Swords, Three of Stones, Seven of Wands, Three of Swords, and Blackberry Dragon assess timing. We had the Ten of Swords and timing here before, actually, and I don't remember. But something in a relationship, could be a friend, could be a parent, could be a partner, but something needs to go. You probably know yourself, because this seems to have led to, like, or cost you a bunch of hurt and heartache and stuff. And when this ends, I mean, there will be challenges with it, there will be heartache, there will be, you know, and timing is apparently important. And I think, I don't know if it was actually Padu that had this, with the timing in something needing to end. Because if it is, let's say, an abusive relationship, then timing could be so incredibly important when you end it. You break up with them when they're home, they might hit you or lock you up or terrible, terrible things like that. So if you're leaving them, it might be better to do it when they're not home, for example. That's just an example. You know your situation better than I do. But the thing, yeah, I mean, there's good and bad here, and it doesn't have to be as dramatic. It could be just small changes, but there is a relationship that needs to go. There is something about a job that brings, well, new aspects. Money is looking amazing. Health, there's a change you need to make, but you want to make it and you know how to make it, and you just find support and you'll be fine. Finances, success. Just celebrate and be happy. This hobby thing, set goals, clear goals, and then, you know, go after them. You do have, for runes, I made these myself, I'm so proud of them. There we go. And this is Pertro, which, if it had a correspondence in the tarot like that, the closest would be the Wheel of Fortune. It is basically destiny. It's the unknown, meaning there are things here that are hidden that we can't see. And you have to decide what you want and work toward it, because there is destiny at play here. You also got a meditation card for the month, which is, and I can't tell you what this means. I can't interpret this for you because, well, they're intended to be meditated on. Like, you decide what it means to you. So this is the silent one. Watch the shifting shadows and be a caretaker of silence. If it was me, but see, it's not up to me to interpret that. It's up to you. In any case, this looks like a pretty good month. You look in a good position. You look strong. You look like you know what you want. You know how to get there. You set your goals. You time your decisions and your actions. And I think this is going to be a fine month. And it might be when you look back upon years later and go, that's where it all started. So make sure you make the right decisions here. End the bad relationship. Grab hold on your health situation. Yeah, I think it looks good. So hopefully it is good. Thank you so much for listening. Hello everyone who chose pile number 4. This is supposed to be just a quick reading about the upcoming month. There are no specific dates, so it's timeless. Whenever you watch it, that's when it starts. We'll be looking at 5 different areas of life. And we'll be starting with health, because, you know, health is, it's good to know what's going on with your health, if nothing else. And every pile will have about 4 cards. Well, they will have exactly 4 cards unless I feel something needs clarifying. This deck is with unicorns. It's a Swedish deck, and my mother gave it to me, and I love it very much. Also, it's pink. Not my favorite color as such, but I mean, I love it. And then after that, we're going to be looking at finances, and I have to decide which deck to use. Well, it doesn't really matter. You might just be getting a different one than the other groups did. This is finances now, I've decided. So finances for the upcoming month for pile 4. There we are. After that, we are looking at free time, leisure, hobbies, that sort of thing. For the upcoming month. I'm a bit scared of being silent because there's nothing to really listen to if I don't speak. At the same time, if I just sit babbling all the time, that's not going to be a lot of fun, is it? And the shuffling, I'm so bad at shuffling, so I will hopefully get good enough to do it on camera, but right now it's just embarrassing. So there we have those. And the fun part is I can't shuffle, but I've been doing this for 23 years. So maybe I'm not actually being honest there. Maybe I'll never actually get better at the shuffling bit. Because if I haven't learned yet, I don't think, well, maybe I never will, you know? And that's okay. Because I can ugly shuffle as long as I get cards out. That's fine. At least, you know, that's what I decide. There we go. And now we're gonna look at relationships, which can, of course, be friends, family, romantic, whatever. All kinds of relationships. And I said I've been doing this for 23 years. It's almost 24. And this baby is my first deck. It's my Heimdall deck, which I bought when I was 17. It's... I shouldn't really play favorites like that, but this is my favorite. This is my baby. It's the best deck ever. Aside from these, we will also be getting English is not my first language. We're getting an advice card for each pile. This, well, you'll see this deck is amazing. Oh, yeah. These are our advices, our pieces of dragon advice for each pile. Okay, there we go. And aside from that, we're also getting a rune for the entire month. Okay, there we go. We'll start with the health card. So we have the moon, we have the page of swords, ace of coins, and the emperor. I would say you also have shine is the advice. My advice, I mean, you have the moon, and it is so often about intuition, dreams, deeper connection to yourself, sort of thing, to your subconscious. But it can also mean fear, that you think something's there that isn't. So just for your own sake, I'd say maybe go have a health checkup, just to be sure there's nothing wrong. I don't think there's anything wrong, but so that you don't worry, because it looks like you worry. If you don't worry, then, you know, don't. You also have the emperor, which is very solid, dependable, steady, which I would say your health is solid, steady, and dependable here. You have the ace of coins, which is, maybe you start a new exercise regime. I don't know. This is tangible and it's new. And I don't see any negative cards, so it should be a good thing. Like you start doing something better for your health, or you're just feeling great, and that's why you shine. Because you shine. And you have the page of swords, which is messages, which, you know, it might be that you go have a checkup just to be sure everything's fine. You find out everything's fine, you get the message, you shine. I would interpret it that way. You're solid, steady, there's nothing really going on, but maybe you start a new diet or a new exercise or a new something with the Ace of Cups. That's for health. My mouth is getting dry and I didn't bring any water. Oh well. Then we have economy and finances, where you have the magician. You also have the four of coins, the devil, and the eight of cups. The dragon advice says moderation. I think you should perhaps be careful with your money this month. Even if you do, with the magician, create opportunities to make money, or even create money. You can do that. This is manifestation. This is getting what you want, doing it, you know, calling it in. Maybe it won't be immediate, because with the four of coins, I mean, it's solid, but it's also, I was gonna say lazy. I mean, more like comfort zone-y. You're not really doing anything extreme for progress. And then, and this is what kind of, you have the devil, and the devil whatever people want it to be, it's not a good card. This is the addictions, the abuse, the lower side of the subconscious. This is where you have a shopping addiction and you really get lots of money, but you spend them all, you blow them in 2 seconds flat, and you don't want to change. I'm not saying that's you, that's just an example. This is not a good card. It really isn't. It means that you are, or someone else could be stealing your money, but I don't think so with the 4 and the Magician. I more think that it's you not doing what you need to do to have better finances, or maybe you're drinking, smoking, partying, whatever, your money, leaving a situation that isn't working for you anymore. So leave the devil. And then this, I sound so narrow-minded, but I sort of based it on the context, because here you also have Starfruit Dragon saying moderation. Are you, in fact, perhaps a bit of a shopaholic? I don't know. But you could have better finances if you didn't have the devil here, if you left the devil. Whether that is someone using up all your money, someone else might be a shopaholic around you and you just don't take hold of that situation and control it and get rid of that person. You should, in that case. Or if it's a bad habit you have, dump it, moderate yourself, and you will be better off financially. And these are, of course, very obvious things. Everyone already knows these things, but it's not always so easy to live by them. So I feel like your economy needs you to take control of it, to make a plan and control. We're moving to hobbies and free time. We have the Queen of Wands, we have the Knight of Swords, 5 of Pentacles, and the King of Swords. The Orange Dragon advises for rewards, which in this case I think you might be the one being rewarded. I'm not sure, but the Queen of Wands, that's when you're doing something you're really passionate about, when you feel sure and secure and really fired up, and this is your thing. Knight of Swords, well, he's more of fighting dragons on an intellectual level. 5 of Pentacles is the whole lack mentality, though. Maybe you don't feel like you have enough time. Maybe you don't feel like you have enough money to do whatever it is you want to do on your free time. That might need changing. And then you have the King of Swords, which is generally, actually, this is the intellectual, professional tutor type thing. So maybe you need to get an advisor or a tutor on what to do with your free time, how to improve, it could be a sponsor, that sort of thing. Because you do have the rewards thing, that's why I'm thinking sponsor. Maybe you really like playing bowling, but you can't afford your own ball. But then you get a sponsorship, and they buy you your ball. That's a reward for being a good player. That sort of thing. I'm not saying that's the exact situation, but it should give an idea about what it could be about. Right? Cool. Moving on to work. I'm a bit ashamed here because I'm getting shorter and shorter reading, I think. Ooh, work. 2 of Cups. 5 of Pentacles. 2 of Wands. 7 of Swords. Blueberry Dragon says set goals. So, and I'm wondering if you're being deceived by someone here. Because with the 7 of Swords, that's someone being deceitful. That's someone lying, cheating, going behind someone's back. And this isn't at work. This is at work. You have 2 of Wands, which is a no-go right now. Something's holding you back. You might not know what, but you need to plan, set goals for how to overcome whatever it is. I think it might be a person, but that's just me. 5 of Pentacles is lack mentality again. You have that a bit. I think work and money might be worrying you overall, because having what you have, then you know, what is this, the devil, you know what you have now. Even if it's not enough money or enough fun, at least you know what you have. But I don't think it's enough, and I think something or someone is holding you back. Now the fun part is at work there is a Two of Cups coming. This could mean either getting, I hate this, a new coworker that you really hit it off with. It doesn't have to be love. It is one of the, small soulmate cards. I don't really do soulmates in that manner. So this is up to you to decide what it is. Perhaps it's just you find a new job or a new task at your current job, or a way to sugar this person into not being the no-go for you with the goals that you set. See? It kind of plays together. Something's holding you back. Make goals, work past them, and don't be so afraid of losing something that isn't really making you happy. Instead, make sure that it makes you happy. Yes. Now we're moving on to relationships, and this is going to be exciting just based on the dragon again. We have Four of Cups, we have Ten of Wands, we have the Lovers, and we have Ten of Swords. And then we have the advice is boundaries. Ten of Swords tends to be when something needs to go. Something's played out its role, it needs to go, die, be broken off. But you also have the Lovers. Now I know, everyone always interprets the Lovers as you're gonna meet the love of your life. It's not necessarily true. I'm really sorry, I wish it was that easy. The Lovers is also about choosing. Now, of course, since this is the relationship pile, I think we could say that this would be choosing a partner, or choosing a commitment, or choosing to end one. You have to set boundaries, says the garlic dragon. I love how that's garlic, because garlic is a boundary in and of itself. With the Ten of Swords, something needs to go. And the Ten of Wands, I would say you're pretty tired. You're on your breaking point. So if we take this, well, there's two possible interpretations here. Well, probably more, but I mean the major ones. Is either you have to break up a bad relationship. Really. And this doesn't have to be love. It could be family or friends, as said. But that there is a relationship that is weighing you down so much, and you have to step back from that. But ideally, in a sense of love, whether that is self-love or that you've met someone else, if it's a romantic thing, step away from that thing in love. Or with love, sorry. English is, again, not my first language. So that the decision you make to protect yourself or to make the most of your relationship is made, even if you decide to move in with someone, that should not be based on fear or threats or need. That choice should be made with love. Is this what I want? If I was my best friend, what would I advise myself or that friend to do? But something needs to go. I don't know what, but it is wearing you down so thin that there's nothing left, and you're about to just collapse from the weight of whatever it is that needs to go. It's not making you happy, and it's really tiring you. End it. But make the choice with love. Could also mean someone else is coming in. Set boundaries. So that's more what I'm thinking. This might be a family thing that's weighing you down, and you need to say, I can't do everything for you. Still act with love again, but set boundaries, clear boundaries. I'm not gonna do this. I have to think about myself as well. I need to take care of myself. It's this example is such a cliche, but in airplanes, when they drop the oxygen masks down and they say, put your own mask on before you help the people next to you, because otherwise, if you don't get your mask on, you will be useless and you won't be able to help them. You have to take care of yourself first. Set boundaries first. From what I can tell here, your rune is Isas. Again, English is not I'm going to pronounce this in my native language, which is slightly different. Which is stagnation, delay, waiting. It's no real progress, nothing really. There's no big movement. And it might feel very boring. Still, I think it's important, set goals for what you want at work, what you really want, that will make you happy. try to let go of the lack mentality. Go out there and be the best. Win a bit. Maybe actually get a sponsor that will give you rewards. I think that's a good idea if you're actually good at something. The economy, you're doing something with you're good at bringing money in, but you're also really good at making it go away, whether that is you or someone around you. Leave that. Learn to moderate, and your finances will be just fine. Health, you might be waiting for a message from a health checkup, or you might want to go do a health checkup, get the reply, but it seems you are pretty stable and solid health-wise, and you shine. So, oh yeah, your meditation card, sorry. This is, I cannot interpret this card for you because it is a meditation card. You're supposed to think about what the message means for you. And you get seed spells, which is create your story. It is the most potent form of magic, which I really agree with. And I think that's true. Like, let's, for example, say that you are really good at bowling. And when you do this and you find a sponsor and they buy you a ball and you get adverts and stuff, and you can make it professional and make a lot of money doing something you love instead of whatever it is that's holding you back at your current place. Or when you write your own story and say, I'm not gonna be abused by my evil grandfather who hits me with a butter knife. I don't know, but I'm breaking it off with him. I'm saying this isn't for me, but I'll still come to you, grandma, or whatever. Then you take control of the story. You write your story. You decide how it goes. When you stop spending money on whatever it is and actually manage to save money to have a better financial situation, you're writing your story. You have the control here. And that's what it says. So even if it's a bit stagnant right now, the plans and goals you make now could so much pay off next month or the month after that. But it's coming. Just take control of the situation and your life, and you'll be absolutely fine. Yeah. So I think that's pretty much what I had for now. As I said at the beginning, this was my first video. I know I'm not as I don't know, experienced, I guess, as the others, but I'm just doing this for fun, so it doesn't really matter. And this was fun. I liked it. I didn't like the slightly negative messages that came out, but I did enjoy the overall thing, and I think I'll be doing this again. So now you know, you either block me or you follow me. There are more options than that. You do whatever you want and you go on with your day, and I hope your life is going to be great. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.